Hello, my battalion and viewers. I'm the Knight of Arcane, and today we're going to have a very normal variety episode starring Vriska. Yep, nothing strange or weird or different from the title and the thumbnail of this video. Just a normal video coming out on April 1st. Anyways, let's check out our various Vriska pieces, shall we? Good evening, Spider Society. Today, we were supposed to talk about Spider Vriska from Earth 888-888-88. But the file was misplaced. And instead, I got the file on Spider Vriska from Earth 72589. Since I'm not in the mood to try and find that file, let's continue with the one we got. In Earth 7259, Vriska J, with an E at the end, important detail, grew up wanting to be a comic artist, which she was able to do, becoming a cartoonist for the Daily Bugle, with her comics mainly focusing on women, or as she put it, the finer things in life, while also being a bit satirical in nature. Part of her job had her join reporters on interviews, to draw something that could be used to garner attention to the article on social media, though she found this to be a bit boring, and with her idiopathic hypersomnia, she sometimes fell asleep during the interview. This job would lead her to join a reporter to Oscorp, to get a special scoop with the CEO of the company, Toro Osborne. During the interview, however, she fell asleep when she excused herself from the room, not noticing when the tower was attacked by the sinister Six Stars, leading to an experimental and radioactive spider to escape containment, before it would then find and bite Vriska, finally waking her up. The bite gave her the usual spider powers, along with causing dual sets of weird horns to grow in her head that she could retract at will, mutated her right eye to look weird, and made the whites of her eyes yellow. Vriska wasn't the most elated person to become a Spider-Woman, and for a long time she did a few small and barely noticeable things to help stop crime. Until the Daily Bugle wanted answers about the menace leaving all these webs and believing a monster was on the loose. They then wanted her to draw a comic for the newspaper about the terrifying spider that was lurking in New Mesoposa City. Vriska decided to quit her job and start a new webcomic about the mysterious and badass and sexy Spider-Woman that was helping the city, leading her to then actually take up the mantle and help the city out. This led to her joining the Avenging Friends by a young man named Peppy, working alongside heroes such as Torpedo, the Incredible Mikey, Iron Gerbercycle, and Scarlet Luke. Spider Vriska does occasionally help the Spider Society, but usually only works with a very small group I sometimes call the Spider Friends. Hopefully, I'll find the correct report soon so we can talk about the other Spider Vriska. Have a good April 1st, viewers. So, I got an interesting animatronic that had to be done before today. Oh? How so? Well, are you familiar with this thing called Homestuck? No. Really? I thought you would be, with everything else you're familiar with from the web and all. Oh, I'm just pulling your leg. Yeah, I know about Homestuck. I'm a seer of heart. Think you'd be either a Knight of Space or a Knight of Doom. Ah, okay. Well, we were asked to create an animatronic for this character called Vriska. Oh, I'm familiar with her. Probably my 5th favorite troll. Did they want her normal design? God tier? The Doom timeline version? Well, while we were still working on the blueprints, we were then informed that it was the wrong Vriska. The wrong Vriska? But there's no one else with the name Vriska. The name was made up for Homestuck. Of course, there was the 3rd season of Salty DK Dan's Friendlocke, where Jay named their Pokesona Vriska. Wait, did you do a Pokemon Friendlocke animatronic? How do you know about this Friendlocke thing? Pokemon, I know. Nuzlockes, I've tried before. But I never heard of this Friendlocke thing beforehand. Nor this Salty Dan. Derek. Right. Him. We all know the algorithm can be very random sometimes with its suggestions. Also, Pokemon Challenges' Nuzlocke review led me to them. That's the guy Jaden and Jacob named their rival in their Souling video, right? Correct. Well, they corrected our course pretty early on, and we got to work. I saw the original design of that spider Pokemon in the new games. Spidops. Right. And think the design for the Friendlocke version is way better, and an overall good balance between the Pokemon and the troll. Yeah, feels like more thought was put in that design. Anyways, compared to the last spider character we had to do, Vriska was a bit of a challenge, especially with the idea we had to have each set of limbs on a small track, allowing them to rotate and change positions when we wanted it to, along with them also being able to extend out, making them longer or shorter. We did the arms first, and had to go through 5 models to get them to work. But we thought we wouldn't need as many for the legs. But somehow, we went through 10 to get the legs to work. Wow. Weird. Right? After that, it wasn't that hard. We made it able to shoot silly string webs from the back abdomen thing, and designed some very impressive eyes for it. Cool. You think they'll have you do more Friendlocke stuff in the future? Who knows? Felt a bit like a test to have us try and do an animatronic for the series, and it did come out really nicely. Still not sure why they wanted it done by April 1st. Yeah, me neither. Just a quick reminder, we have a Patreon set up. It's a great way to help support the channel. As a patron, you get votes in monthly art polls, early access to content, and monthly art-related rewards, starting with character headshots. So if you can, head over to our Patreon to become a patron today, starting at $3 a month. Every little bit helps. Anyways, now back to the video. While new kaiju sightings are nothing new this day and age, there's been quite a few new sightings in Spain that have been very friendly to each other, for the most part. These kaiju have been acting similarly to how close acquaintances would act from what our scouts have reported, though scientists believe in more of pack tactics being used. Yet these kaiju are from all different species and looks. One such creature is Vriska Variety, a giant arachnid kaiju with some mantis-looking parts. Originally spotted in Masca Canyon, when first discovered, it was much smaller and looked more like a spider, though for some reason it had a large amount of webbing wrapped around its abdomen. It was pretty calm when it first woke up, weaving great yet huge webs in the canyon that we now believe was it trying to communicate with us, with the repeating patterns and a few vague shapes looking like a woman being found. However, the military went in and tried to kill Vriska Variety, burning the webs and severely hurting the kaiju, causing it to flee into the earth. 3 years ago, it resurfaced, seemingly evolved into this more aggravated form, acting way more hostile than before, likely caused by the military's attack on it. We originally didn't think this new form was Vriska Variety, but the weird dual set of horns on its head and the interesting eyes, along with the colors, made us conclude it was the same kaiju, or at the very least, it could be its offspring. The webs that once tried to communicate with us now either cover the ruined cities in its wake, or encase the poor innocents that become its next meal, being burned away by the sticky material. Maybe Vriska Variety wouldn't be too hard to defeat, since it does also sleep a lot, creating a cocoon to protect itself when it needs to. However, this friendliness with these other kaiju has proven impossible to attack it alone, it usually causing rampages with 2 other kaiju. We don't have the resources to take free on at the same time. For now, we can only hope to limit the destruction Vriska Variety does, and hopefully figure out what they tried to warn us before it's too late. Why does it feel like it's been forever since we last talked, when we see each other every day? No idea. I don't feel that. I know. Hey, what's that armor you have finished here? Oh, it's for a customer named Vriska. Oh joy. Her. You familiar with her? Yeah. Vriska Serket. A pirate and thief that's also a huge spider bit. Sorry, I think you got the wrong person. Cause she didn't seem like a pirate, let alone sly like a thief. Huh? Yeah, she seemed pretty chill, though a bit tired too. She asked for this blue, gray, and this blue-gray color armor to replace her old green and olive colored armor. Green and olive? Why would she have those colors? She's a cerulean blood. No idea. She had me fix up an old cutlass she had with an interesting hilt, looking a lot like horns, though with one looking more like a claw or a pincer. Yep, like her horns. Well, yeah. She did ask for horns put on her helm. 2 sets to match the hilt. Of course. Did you say 2 sets of horns? Correct. Put them on this helmet that I put a giant blue-gray streak in the middle and made a jagged mouth-like detail. That kind of looks like it has lips. And a nice blue talbot. She also asked for a second weapon to wield. A flail that looks a bit like a spool or a beehive, but I think it works. This doesn't make sense. This feels inspired a bit by actual Homestuck Vriska, but also there's something else in this too. Anything else you can mention about them? Well, Vriska did come in with a small group of adventurers that were also thinking of getting new armor from a shop. There was this girl with a nasally voice in all pink and carrying a giant hammer. A girl in a blue and yellow hat that was knitting a lot, who mentioned something about a Kaiju. It honestly sounded like something you mentioned from your world. A regal-looking person in green trying to sell me olive oil, and a kid with short green hair that I remember them calling Peppy. No. This has to be a joke. There is no way the Pokemon Friendlocke is real in this world. No jokes here. They should be back in today for the armor. Hey, quick question. What's today again? April 1st. And that explains it. That explains so damn much. And that was our Vriska Variety episode. I had this idea to make it seem like it was going to be a Vriska Serket video, but then have it turn out to be a Vriska Friendlocke video for April Fools, since the last quarter of 2024, and think they came out good. But what did you think of them? Let me know in the comments, along with other ideas I could do with the Pokemon Friendlocke. Have quite a few already, though not 100% planning to go back to these videos at the moment, but we will see. For more variety episodes, we have the Amazing Digital Circus collab and the Ben 10 one, which also has a kaiju in it. Along with that, we have when we turned Pokemon into mech armors, and when we turned Homestuck trolls into superheroes. And if you liked what you saw, then leave a like, and subscribe to join our growing little Arcane town, to be in the know for future videos, updates, and polls. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later! Oh, and the actual Vriska Variety episode will be on the